Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous.
My name is RuRu and I am a TV holic. So today I thought I'd do a little bit of a different episode because Mimi is not here and I thought I'd do something by myself. This is something that I primarily watch and Mimi is not really into it as much as me yet, but I am trying to get her into watching this stuff. And basically what I'm talking about, I'm gonna get to it. I know I'm waffling on a bit, but what I'm talking about is K-dramas and just Korean content in general. So I'm not Korean and Mimi's not Korean either. And we kind of have got into K-dramas and Korean reality TV. So I just wanted to talk about that today and how I got into it. So I think before I start talking about the shows that I watch or the movies that I've watched, I'm gonna tell you a bit about how I first stumbled across it. So I know K-pop and K-dramas are a huge thing. I've heard about them. I heard about them years ago, but about 2 years ago I really got into them and I'd never watched anything Korean before. And I had heard that about the zombie movies, the Korean zombie movies on Netflix and stuff like that. And I also had heard about the um what's the word? Not the word. The the what's that? Oh, Squid Games. That's the thing that I'm trying to get at. Squid Games. So I had heard of Squid Games, but I hadn't watched it. And I just thought, oh, I can't be bothered because I'm gonna have to read subtitles or have it dubbed in English, which would be kind of like a bummer. I just wrote it off. I knew that it was Squid Games was a huge phenomenon on TV and everyone was totally obsessed with it. There's been loads of iterations of Squid Game stuff and you know what I'm talking about. So there's been spin-offs from that. On Netflix they made a reality TV show about it and they had contestants. I think Squid Games reality or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But so yeah, I did hear about it, but I was not into it and I had not watched anything. The way that I actually got into Korean stuff, Korean shows, was actually through Korean reality TV. I actually saw my mum watching a Korean reality TV show that had just come out a couple of years ago, and I was wondering why she was watching it. And then I just sat with her and I instantly got hooked. And if you've watched anything Korean reality TV or Korean K-dramas or anything, you know that it's very easy to get hooked. They just have the formula down for TV, reality TV, and for scripted shows, so well done. They know what they're doing in South Korea. So yeah, so I got into this reality TV show that she was watching, and it was the reality TV show Physical 100 on Netflix. So where I watch all my Korean reality TV and scripted shows is basically on Netflix. And Netflix has a huge library of Korean shows, including reality TV and scripted shows too. So I watched Physical 100 and then from there I watched a whole bunch of other reality TV shows, Korean reality TV shows. And then I accidentally stumbled across a sci-fi show, a sci-fi scripted show, which I watched, and then I watched another sci-fi scripted show from there. And then I just thought, oh, I really like the way they do their sci-fi shows, and I also like the kind of romantic element that they've intertwined in there, and you know. So I started watching a few just like sitcoms that were Korean like not sitcoms, but dramas that were like more, romantic comedy-esque kind of things. And that's how I really got into like all the different types of genres of Korean reality TV and scripted shows. So I actually have watched two movies as well on Netflix, Korean movies, and they were both very different. One was they were both like serious, they weren't romantic comedies. One was a crime, action crime one, and the other one was another crime one, but very serious and kind of like sinister and dark. And I will do reviews on those if you guys are interested, but I just want to know what you guys want me to talk about when it comes to Korean reality TV and scripted shows or movies from Netflix, because there's, like I said, a huge library, and I really want to talk about a lot of them because I know there's not a lot of people that I know personally in my life that watch these shows, Korean reality TV or scripted, and I just want to like get some things off my chest about them, talk about what I liked, what I dislike. Like the Korean culture in general is very different from the West, extremely different, and I can talk about that as well. And it's really intriguing. You kind of like find yourself like drawn into the Korean world. It's very different. That I think that's what's really like alluring and appealing about the whole Korean genre of like TV and movies. So a few of the shows that I have watched. So the first one that I did watch, I told you, was Physical 100. That is a kind of like a fitness reality TV competition show. And they've got 2 seasons out, and I absolutely love it. So I think at some point I will do a review on that. And Mimi has also seen that, and she loved it basically. She's watched both seasons like myself. And then oh, Singles Inferno. That must be the most popular probably Korean reality TV show out there on Netflix right now. And I know a lot of people who are not into the Korean genre have probably stumbled across that as well. So I've watched that, all the seasons, and so has Mimi. So we have discussed talking about those in an episode. So we might do a breakdown of like them by series by series. And when the new season comes up, we were thinking about recapping it episode by episode. So that should be interesting. Some other scripted shows. So me and Mimi have also watched the scripted sci-fi show My Demon. That is a Korean show, and we've also watched I believe it's called Nine Tails or the Nine Tails. I'm getting it wrong. I know I'm getting it wrong. I think it's Tale of the Nine-Tailed. That's it. Tale of the Nine-Tailed. So we've watched that as well, and she loved that, and so did I. So we might recap that as well. So a few of the other shows that I've watched. I'm just going to talk about myself now. And if I can remember if Mimi's watched them, I'll let you guys know as well. So Clean with Passion for now. That's like a rom-com kind of TV show that I've watched. That was great. One the Woman or One Off the Woman, I believe it was. That's another kind of like action crime kind of TV show. Then I've also watched Strong Girl Bong-Soon. That's kind of like sci-fi and romantic comedy. True Beauty, another romantic comedy. My Love from the Star. That's I believe, a romantic comedy with sci-fi involved as well. Then there's been Bloodhounds. That's just pure action. I believe they're going to have a season 2 pretty soon, so I'm really excited for that. And then I've also watched a show called Taxi Driver. That is action and crime. And most, also what I want to say is most Korean shows, what I don't like about Korean shows is they mostly, like, I'd say about 80% of them don't have season twos. They just have one season. They're just one season wonders, and it kind of leaves you like wondering like what's happening, what happened next. Like you wanna continue and find out what's happening in these like fictional characters' lives, but you can't because they kind of cut it off. So yeah, that's what I don't like about Korean shows. And most Korean shows have about, I'd say, like reality TV shows have about 8 to 10 episodes, I think. Actually, I'm not quite sure about that. I'll have to check that. But not Korean reality TV, but scripted shows have 16 episodes roughly. So most Korean shows, scripted shows have 16 episodes, and if not, they have about 20. So that's that is quite, and they're quite long. Each episode, the scripted shows and the reality TV shows are about an hour long. I do like that. And the scripted shows are very like slow burners. They like to do a slow burn. And I really appreciate that as well because I don't like just getting into the thick of things straight away. I know a lot of people do, and that's very like the Western way of doing things, but I'm while watching these Korean shows, I'm kind of like loving that kind of slow burn style of like TV shows. It keeps you like wanting more each time or like anticipating what's going to happen next, which is kind of like more interesting than like just everything thrown at you at once, like in the West, like where I'm from, in the Western world. So as I was saying, more TV shows. So Taxi Driver, that was an interesting one. Vincenzo, that is kind of like a crime, comedy crime show. And then I've also watched, what would I say? Strong Girl Namsoon as well. So there's Strong Girl Bong-Soon, and I believe the sequel is Strong Girl Namsoon. And then Itaewon Class. So Strong Girl Namsoon, that is another sci-fi romantic comedy situation. And then Itaewon Class, that is kind of like crime and like a very serious tone it has, but it's very interesting. It kind of like it's compelling like to watch it, like to continue watching it. And then Culinary Class Wars, that I watched last year and it was like amazing. I believe that is the best cooking show that I've ever seen on TV, cooking reality TV show competition that I've ever seen on TV. It has like the stakes are so high, it's extremely dramatic. It's extremely grueling for the contestants as well. So like I found that so interesting. And Oh My Venus, that's another I believe like romantic comedy TV show. And then I've seen so many, it's hard to like remember what I've seen and what I haven't seen. Nevertheless, I think this is Nevertheless is another romantic, not romantic comedy, but it's like a romantic TV show. I believe it's quite controversial in Korea. I'm not sure what, because it has a lot of scenes that are not very common in Korean TV shows. So I think I might recap that because that's not very like typical of Korean TV shows from what I've seen so far of watching Korean TV shows. Because it has like nudity and things like that, I believe. So also I know this isn't a Korean TV show, it's a Western TV show, but it's based in Korea and it's about Koreans, and it's about it has a lot of Americans in it, but it's also Korean based. It's called XO Kitty, and it's quite popular right now. I like that. I'd recap that as well, but it's just I kind of also find the main character a bit annoying, so I'll get into that when I recap that. Another show that I like is Cinderella and the Four Knights. That's definitely a Korean rom-com kind of situation, TV show. And then Fight for My Way. That's another kind of rom-com with action in it as well. And then She Was Pretty, a rom-com. And then Suspicious Partner. I think Suspicious Partner is kind of like a rom-com action kind of situation there. And then there's Birth of a Beauty. Birth of a Beauty is kind of like a rom-com with like action. No, I wouldn't say action, but it's like a rom-com, like kind of like a telenovela situation. And I know I've watched a lot more, but I just can't remember them off the top of my head. So I think I will start like recapping some of these shows. So I just wanted to do like a quick short episode, like talking about how I got into them, and how Mimi got into them basically is through me. And I basically got into them through my mother. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and then hopefully get some recaps in of some of these shows, reality TV, Korean reality TV, and scripted. So if anyone has any like recommendations of, not recommendations, any like requests of what you guys want us to recap, let us know. Like I said, there are free shows, just a few that Mimi's watched, and I'm gonna get her to kind of watch a few more so we can recap them. And if there's any requests, like I said, let us know in the comments. Give us 5-star ratings for all our episode for this podcast, and let us know what you guys want us to do next. And hopefully Mimi should be back in the next episode. Bye guys.